Factsverse presents. Mom calls the police on her 3-year-old daughter after seeing what she did in the back seat. Before we get into the video, though, I wanted to remind you of the law. The law says you must click the like button in order to watch the rest of this video. Really? Okay, maybe not. But we still would appreciate you clicking the like button. And also be sure to subscribe and click the notification bell so you don't miss any of our future videos. I think that's the law too. Raising kids is not the easiest thing in the world to do. Children don't always listen, they can be hyper and rambunctious, and they can wear their parents out at the end of the day. Kids can be frustrating, but they're also a joy. Michelle Fortin is a mother of 2 from Arizona. Her kids keep her busy all day, and one day this mom called the cops on her 3-year-old daughter after discovering what her daughter did in the back seat of the car. Anybody who's ever driven in a car with kids knows it's not always easy. Michelle understood that each and every time they got into the car. She never knew if the kids were going to fall asleep back there or make her life behind the wheel nuts. Like most moms, she never knows if she's going to do the right thing for her kids either. And on this day, she did the best thing she could for her child. Like most days, Michelle loaded her 2 kids in the back seat of the car. She buckled them in their seatbelts and drove off. Her kids were yelling in the back seat, and Michelle looked in the rearview mirror a few times and couldn't figure out why the kids were yelling. Her son was yelling, "Mommy, Mommy, she unbuckled her seatbelt!" Her son was talking about her 3-year-old daughter, Camille. Michelle pulled the car over immediately. She tried to explain to Camille how dangerous it was to take off your seatbelt while the car was moving. Michelle was very serious about what she was saying. But Camille, she wasn't taking her seriously. She was laughing and giggling, and Michelle was losing her patience. She buckled her daughter back into the seat and headed home. What she did when she got there was something most mothers would never do. The entire way home, she thought about how awful every car ride was going to be if Camille kept taking off her seatbelt and not taking Michelle seriously about its safety. She decided she had to take action. When she got home, she called the Scottsdale Police Department on her daughter. She believed that her situation required extreme methods if she was going to keep her daughter safe. Shortly after Michelle made the call, 2 police officers arrived at the home. When they knocked on the door, they asked to speak to Camille. When Michelle told her daughter the police were there because she was taking off her seatbelt, Camille looked scared. The officers took her out of Michelle's car so that they could explain how important it is to wear your safety belt. One of the officers told Camille that if a car wasn't paying attention and they hit the back or side of her mother's car, her body could hit something and get seriously injured. They also told her that it's against the law to take off your seatbelt and she could be in trouble. Fortunately, Michelle's plan worked. According to Camille, she will always wear her seatbelt and will never take it off until the car stops and her mother says it's okay to take it off. Michelle was interviewed by both Good Morning America and Inside Edition about calling the police on her daughter. She said there might be people who are going to think that she took the situation to the extreme. However, she believed that it was a teaching moment. She believed that calling the cops was the best way to keep her daughter safe while riding in the car. The officers who responded to Michelle's call were also contacted for an interview. When they were asked if they were upset or frustrated to have responded to a call on a 3-year-old girl, they said absolutely not. The officers believed that Michelle did the best thing for her daughter. They knew after their visit that Camille would never try to unbuckle again without permission. One of the officers stated that Michelle's call to the police that day may have saved her daughter's life in the future. One of the officers went on to say that accidents can happen in a split second, and if a child's not wearing a seatbelt, the result can be tragic. Both officers were thankful that they could teach these kids the importance of car safety. Subscribe for more. It's the law.